Hi there, it's Barb, and I am so glad that you're here joining me for this video. I'm going to show a lot of different projects that I've been working on, and so I'm going to go a little bit quickly because I know it can get a little boring just sitting there watching. But I'm so glad that you're here. First, I'd like to jump right in, and first I want to thank Wendy at Lost in Stitches for recommending Mary Ellen's Best Press. This has been life-changing for me, and I'll share why in just a minute. I did want to say that I took a chance and bought the Lavender Fields brand because that's what Joann Fabrics had. They didn't have the plain clear, and it has a little bit of a purple tint to it, and I was worried about that on the cloth, but it has been totally great, and you can really barely even smell it. So if you're looking for that, don't be afraid to get that. I have a lot of finished pieces, and that's why I wanted to hop on. We just had Easter, and this is my first Easter finish. The reason that I have this is I was in Michael's and I just fell in love with this little frame. I just love these little dots, and I'm like, I want this frame. I'm going to come home and find something to put in it. And as I looked around, I really had a hard time finding something. I guess you shouldn't get the frame first and then try to cross stitch something for it. So I actually created this pattern. It is on my website, and by the way, I do want to say that I'm doing away with my Small House Blessings website. It was sort of like a country lifestyle kind of website, and it isn't doing real well, and I'm not going to renew it. So that's why I changed my name here to Snail Mail Studio. Most of my videos will be cross stitch, but I'm going to throw a card in every now and then, but it won't be a card that you need a lot of stamps to do. It'll just be fun card making things that you can do without having a lot of supplies. And I've got one to show you today that I'm excited about. So anyway, this is on my new blog, and it's called snailmailstudio.blogspot.com, and the link is down there too. I changed that. The pattern for this that I created is on there, but I have to do a little disclaimer after creating it. I don't know if I was using a different count than 14, but I had to go around and add a little bit of these colors to fill out the frame. It's not perfect, and I'm not a professional designer, but it is on there if you like it, and you can go ahead and play around with that. So that's my first Easter. The second one, this is a little pillow that I made, and it was a free pattern from, I think it's Crochet Go-Go or something like that. Again, that'll be linked down there, but I think this turned out really cute and I really like it. And I was able to just get some kind of like a fat quarter package, and I used that for the back. And then this is my favorite. I bought this pattern on Etsy, and I loved it because I'm coming to you from my dining room, and I kind of like a lot of things that are like naturals, and I have a little bit of red berries in here. I don't do a whole lot of pastels most of the time. Like maybe if I set a table, I would, but I just loved this pattern because it wasn't the typical pastel colors. And I took the scriptures away down here just because I didn't like how they looked just in backstitch, but I love this. I was able to pick up this really nice frame at Amazon, and I can provide a link down there. And so I was able to frame it for not too much money. And the next one that I have is, this one is something that I made for my daughter. She is, her name is Charlotte, and she's told me that she wants to go by Clover Jude, and she is non-binary now. And you may have heard of that. You may have seen pronouns that are he, him, or she, they, and then a lot of non-binary people will say they, them. And sometimes it can be she, they. And I know that's really confusing, and it really took a lot for me to understand all this. But she goes by Clover Jude now, and I wanted to represent her and support her, and just, you know, let her know that I love her no matter what she wants her name to be or what sexual identity she identifies with. So, I bought this pattern on eBay. No, I'm sorry, Etsy. And I just fell in love with these little clovers and the green truck. And so just to be supportive of her, I stitched this for her. She's in her final year of grad school, and she'll be starting off professionally, and she wanted to officially at least consider changing her name. And I actually love the name Clover. I was really fortunate to be able to pick up this frame on Amazon, and it is a 6x9, so it was an unusual size. I tried to look at like Joann's and Michael's and could not find it, but was super happy to find it on Amazon, just like the wooden one. And the Amazon frames, you can really find some unusual sizes there. So if you're looking to frame things and don't want to spend a lot of money on a custom frame, that might be a good place. The other thing I really like about this is it has this little flap stand thing, so it can stand up, and she can't hammer anything into her walls right now. So I was happy that she'll be able to just get that and be able to set it up somewhere. This one was a freebie on my Pinterest page for a long time, and I'm like, I am just going to do this. And this is a pillow that's not stuffed yet, and I am going to fill it as it gets closer to Christmas. I guess I just hadn't gotten around to it, and I'm thinking about other holidays and different things, but I really like how this turned out. This was my first time doing something with fat quarter pieces and making it look a little quilted like. The original pattern for this had the Christmas in green, and I didn't like that, so that's one thing that I did. I flipped that around a little bit, but I think that's cute, and it stitched up real quickly. This is 11 count, and I just, the Ada, and it's just a piece that I had laying around, and I was really, I actually tea dyed it myself, and then I don't think the tea worked real well, and I put some coffee on it, and so that was fun, but I don't think I could replicate it, but I like how that turned out. And I did want to also say that I got some fabrics. I just did a video about a month or two ago, and I got a bunch of fabrics, random fabrics from 123 Stitch, and I wanted to share with you what I did with them. I put them in these bags. They came with this green sticker on it, and the sticker was right on the fabric, and I thought that's not going to be a good idea. It might stick there, especially if I don't use it for several years. I didn't want there to be sticker residue. So I took them and I put them in these bags. And then when I wanted to also share, I'm so glad that I did that haul, because I think I bought like 15 or 20 different very small pieces of fabric. And I thought, oh, I'm never gonna use like half of these. Well, back over here to Clover Jute, if you notice, I'm just gonna grab this white sheet of paper. You can kind of see that the fabric that I used for this is a very light mint green, and that's not a color that I would normally choose at all to cross stitch anything on. I think I bought it to use on a bunny that I bought from Teresa Kogut, and I haven't stitched the bunny yet, but this fabric was absolutely perfect for the clovers. And I'm so glad that I bought all those fabrics, because it would be very hard to, you know, just go out and buy them. Locally, even my local cross stitch shop, which is really amazing, doesn't have a lot of these. So it's been so fun. And this is all I have left of that. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to save this little bit of fabric, even though it would be not enough to do anything with. At least in the future, I will have a reference if I see that kind of fabric in another color or something, and I just want to go back and look at it. I'll know exactly which one it is. So I like this system that I've created with all these bags, keeping track of the fabrics that I have. I did want to show you one work in progress, or WIP, I guess as they call them. This is something that I'm working on, and I really love this. It's just a little house, and it says love is here at the top, but I really do like it. One of the things that I have found in ordering all of these fabrics is how different they are. This fabric here, I love the look. This is like totally the look that I love with fabric, but the fabric is very stiff, and it sort of gets softer as you use it, and it does tend to fray a little bit, and the holes in it are really big, like so much so that I actually had to go with a thicker needle to stick them through. And because if you put your needle in, usually you can bring your hand around and grab it. Well, the holes are so big that the needle would just fall out, especially if there wasn't any other threads in that hole. But it's not as easy to work with as some Aida, but I really like it. And it's just neat being able to like get a feel for all these different kinds of Aida and linen fabrics. Having said that, the one that I cross-stitched the clover jute on, it's very soft, and I love that. It's so easy to just sit, and it doesn't hurt your fingers to push through. But on this one, the holes are sometimes not even very evident where they are, and you go through and it's not right and you have to go again. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's just a very far cry from this. This is stiff and big holes, and this is soft but with smaller holes. So it's really neat to have all these fabrics. I'm so glad that I bought them, and especially as I'm just getting back into stitching and just starting out, discovering all these. I still can't tell if some of these, like Laguna, is that like a name brand, or is that a type of fabric? The same with casual. So if anybody has any information about that, I would love to know. I did want to also share one thing that I've discovered. I was printing out my patterns, and I printed one out that just didn't print real well, and it was too small for one page, and then if it was on 2 pages, it was way too big, and you have to go back and forth. And one of the things that I did, I just wanted to share with you, and I'm not going to show the whole pattern, so I think this will be okay. But when when I buy patterns from Etsy and I'm starting out with them, what I do is I usually do, of course, the border, which I guess most people do. But when you get in here and it's a little bit, I've actually, basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is I've been stitching directly from my iPad now. And I'll show you what I do. I'm gonna have to turn it. And I do a screenshot. And then I click on the screenshot. And then there's this, I've discovered this recently, there's this little ruler. And when it first comes up, it's crooked like that, but it's movable. And then you can just, using the screenshot and the ruler, you can stitch, go up and stitch, go up and stitch. And on this pattern, it's pretty easy to do it without a ruler. But when I was doing this clover jute, these clovers, that was really confusing, and this little ruler really helped me. It doesn't stay on here, so what you have to do is just click done, and then I delete the screenshot, and then I would pick up again if I go up a little bit. And I found that to be a lot better than printing the patterns out. I may print them out anyway, just so I have them in my folder. So that's what I've been working on. I have to share these two. Oh my goodness, like, I don't know how people feel as cross stitchers, all the hard work we put into things and everything, but I wanted to share these two. These are not mine. I found these two at a yard, not a yard sale, at the Salvation Army. The price was $1.99 each, and it was half price day. So I got these for $1 each. And they were professionally framed in Fort Lauderdale around 1997, and SP was the one who stitched them. And I don't know, I just had to share that. You know, sometimes I wonder what's gonna become of my cross stitch. My kids will probably donate it, and somebody will be buying it for $1. But anyway, I'm going to use these around 4th of July, because I just think they were just too cute to not pick up, even though they're not my own work. And lastly, I wanted to just share with you a card, because I am kind of combining at Snail Mail Studio some card making. I do a lot of stamping, but I know that can get really expensive with buying all these supplies and everything, but I do a lot of cards that also you don't need a lot of supplies. And this weekend, or this past week, I picked up this really cool old atlas, and it was only $1, and basically I have a lot of fun stuff that I can make cards with. And I did not know it at the time, but I just read on the Angel Tree Project that there's a little boy in Sparks, Nevada that is obsessed with getting mail, and that he loves studying cities and states. And so I made him this card, and my house is kind of like right about here. And I just took, it's a 5x7, and I just took some regular cardstock that I got at Michael's, and it's like their 110-pound cardstock, so it's really nice and heavy. But I just cut off a piece of the map, and I thought this would be cute because it does say Kenneth City, which is where I live, is a really tiny little town, and yet it's in here. And I stamped that, but you could actually just do that with your printer. And I was going to say from our house to yours, and I was going to put happy birthday right here. And when I went to my birthday stamps, I found this truck, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cute. That will be perfect for him. So this little truck is driving from my house all the way to Sparks, Nevada to deliver a big birthday wish. And this card is on the blog if you wanted to get the details about where the truck came from and everything. And what's really cool is that the envelope that it's going in, I made with the Nevada page. And this is from the top where it says what state it is, and I just cut that out. But his town, Sparks, is right around Reno. There it is. So when he gets this, he'll see his town on the envelope and my town on the card. So that was a really fun thing to do with this. This atlas is from 2006, and I can already feel that the paper is a little getting a little fragile. So I guess my recommendation, if you do buy an atlas, if you can get one that is a little bit newer, I think the newer would be a little bit heavier paper and not as likely to maybe rip in the mail, but I'm hoping that that is going to get to him just fine. But I'm also going to do a video on how I actually, like, it's real easy to make envelopes. I'm sure a lot of people know how to do that with an envelope maker, but it's another thing to actually get the city right where you want it. So I'm going to do a separate video on that. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and being here. And I appreciate all of your comments. Oh, and I was also going to say, like, the first 5 people who comment, if you are interested in me mailing you I can even throw in from our house to yours, and then a little truck that's cut out. I have a die for that. And then I can throw that in too. So if you're watching and would like to try to make a card that is using a map like I have and would like this, the first 5 people who comment, I would be glad to mail it to you. You need to tell me what color truck you want, and I will color it in with a Copic marker, and I'd be glad to mail it to you because I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. And just private message me, and I believe it comes to my email, and you'll have to send me your name, address, and what color truck you want. So that's just for the first 5 people, because that would be a lot to do more than that. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.